2002 SuperVision presents the 2022 Annual Nities Awards.
Woo!
Joel, how are you?
I'm good. Another year over, you know. What have you done?
Yes, and thank you for saying my name.
That's alright. John.
Another year, another tier of great films.
Oh, I thought you meant tear as in you were crying at the quality of cinema this year.
I mean, yes, both great films that tugged at my heartstrings and films that just were grossly terrible.
A classic year. Completely polarizing. Nothing was normal.
It really just felt like, cinema is just like a beautiful butterfly. It's coming out of its cocoon, but it very quickly got eaten by a very disgusting toad.
A toad named Darren Aronofsky.
Funny you should say that. Anyways.
We're just getting right into it. We've got a lot of awards to get through tonight.
We got a lot of awards to go through, and unlike the Oscars, we will actually deliver them all directly to your ear holes.
That's a great joke. That's only slightly dated because they've decided not to do that this year.
Yeah, but are they really going to do it justice?
Are they really gonna respect film again? I don't think so.
Yeah, right. I'll go ahead and open up the first envelope here. The first awards are going to the worst films of 2022. Woo! Each of us, that would be Joel and me, Chandler, have chosen 3 films individually which we have deemed the worst films of the year. And what do you say, Joel? Would you like to crack your envelope open there and tell the world your choices?
Oh, thank you for letting me go first. How courteous.
Of course.
Up first, I have not the worst film of the year, but one of. I have Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The one that came out this year, not the 70s one.
Gotcha.
Very, very lazy, very uninspired remake of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which has nothing to say but very questionable conservative politics about gentrification. All in all, just a huge mess, like, not really worth watching at all. That's all. I'll pass one to you. Why don't we do one at a time?
Oh, okay. Let's shuffle it. Let's collate this. let me rip this open here. I will say one of the worst films of this year will go to Men.
Oh.
The Alex Garland film.
I didn't realize you hated it that much.
I actually hated it this much. I was sitting in the theater, sort of contemplating if the existence of movies was a real thing that had happened. And up to this point, I was not fooled. Like, Men was not what movies were. But it's true. It is just a sole instance in a sea of many terrible films this year. But I found it to be extremely vapid, just not even close to hitting any points even. Like, there's so many things that it's trying to say, and it just doesn't come close to any of it. It's messy, it's gross, it's just a very disgusting fart of a film, I'm sorry to say.
Alright, up next, I have Speak No Evil, which I don't know if you even know about. It is a Danish horror movie. A lot of people told me to watch this, said it was alright. I'm specifically thinking of one critic who I will not name. But Speak No Evil is one of the clumsiest horror films I've seen to date. Very sort of like... It's about a family that go and stay with another family from, I think, the Netherlands. One of them's from Denmark, one of them's from the Netherlands.
That is very scary.
And, the family get progressively weirder and weirder. It sort of feels like this modern vein of post-Get Out horror films. Where it's like that sort of tone, but because it's all like people from Denmark and the Netherlands, it doesn't have anything to say about race. It's just saying sometimes families are weird and that's scary. And that's such a weird message for a horror film.
Well, I'll go ahead and butt in here. And I decided to give a special worst film award to Fantastic Beasts, The Secrets of Dumbledore. Because transphobia is pretty bad, actually. And in the movie itself, like, I don't know why we're still trying to do this. I don't know why we're still here. I don't know why we're still doing the Harry Potter thing.
It seems like it's been worse than the Hobbit trilogy ended up being. It seems like it's been a real mess. And I just skipped the last one entirely, so... I like to think that Peter Jackson at least has some directorial vision.
He does. He is at least somewhat artistic and creative, as opposed to the Fantastic Beasts series, which is really just an excuse to sell tickets to people who have far outgrown their Wizarding World robes and hats and wands that they've had since they were children.
And have now slid into transphobia.
Weird how that... Who could fucking guess? Who could have fucking guessed? But that's all I have to say about that.
Alright, my last worst film, and I'm sorry to say, but it's another horror film. It's been a bad year for horror. Scream 5, also known as Scream.
Scream 5.
I get what they were going for. They wanted to be sort of a meta take on, soft reboots, on legacy sequels. But the problem with that is that the film itself has absolutely no self-awareness. And for a meta horror, that's just a crushing blow to how funny you can be. So it's a very sort of just like, it's a slog to get through. It's very ambling, doesn't have much to say.
Especially when you say that it's in the Scream series. Literally the whole purpose of that series is to be self-aware.
Yeah. But Scream 5 itself is sort of indistinguishable from any other sort of meta horror film that's come out in the past few years. I think especially, like, for a Scream film, these are supposed to be held highly at the top of the chain of meta horror, and Scream 5 is such a downgrade. I'm not even, like, upset, but, sometimes you just see a bad film and you know it's going to be one of your worst films of the year. And no hard feelings. I want Radio Silence to do better. I'm not sure they will, but I'll be there for them anyway.
Alright, well, Darren Aronofsky, I bet you thought you got off with that little joke at the top of the program. I thought you thought, they're joking about me. I'm safe. Well, I gotta say, the last film here on my worst film list is going to none other than the 2022 film The Whale by Darren Aronofsky.
How unfortunate.
This film, not really. No, this is a terrible film.
No, I'm sure it is. I just mean that we were all so excited for it.
Exactly. It's Brendan Fraser. He's coming back. This is his best performance ever. And here's the sad thing, is that it is probably one of his most acted performances. It really is, like, good. He's actually doing it. But he is acting, he's doing the acting of a paper bag full of dog shit. And good job, but that still stinks terribly. And then Darren Aronofsky, of course, comes by and lights the bag on fire, which really does not help. It really does not help. This film, it posits Brendan Fraser's character as somebody who is inherently pathetic and, like, without any reason for us to empathize with.
Yeah.
And then, we have to go on a 2-hour odyssey of Catholicism and shady, shaky, you know, weight politics and preaching.
It sounds a lot like Mother, which was also very messy and preachy.
Yeah. It's really... It leans too hard on that religious aspect. It really just thinks that, like, it's just using Christianity, you know, and at the end of the day, too, this is a visually devoid film. There's nothing interesting happening in the camera, in the world. And I understand that that's part of the reason. It's supposed to be a very small Academy ratio, and it's a stagnant apartment, but just nothing. And there's the scene where Brendan Fraser opens a drawer and there is a singular granola bar in it. And he frowns. He's so sad. He's so sad. And then he opens up the drawer and there's so many candy bars and he's so happy. This film doesn't understand anything about obesity,
like parody,
or it's exactly, this film is a parody while also trying to take itself seriously. Fuck this film. I
don't know why we expected so much from Aronofsky, who's had many stinkers in a row.
I'm gonna go watch Noah. Oh fuck. All right, well, I got that out of the way at least.
Yeah. No overlap, and also I don't think either of us saw any of each other's worst films.
Hey,
so
good job.
Clearly our warnings to each other worked.
Yeah, I'll take your word, definitely. But I think you got the next envelope there. I don't know if you could read it out for the audience, for the people in the back.
The front of this says Most Average Film Award.
Oh.
Awarded to the film, which was a perfectly enjoyable watch. Didn't break any new ground. You know, it was just pretty good. Pretty average.
Yeah. In one eyeball, out the other.
The perfect film, as it were.
I guess, technically.
You feel free to go first.
Oh, yes. Oh, of course. Looking in here, I have to say the most average film I watched this year was The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
That's a good choice. That's a good choice, actually.
And thank you. Exactly. It is a real straight down the line. It did not impress me in any way, but it also never made me, mad or sad or uncomfortable. It really did just exist for 107 minutes.
Yeah.
And, I gotta say, for the parts where it maybe fell below average, the existence of Pedro Pascal, that alone at least patches things up. And I gotta say, straight down the line, 2 out of 4 stars. Not much more to say about this film, right?
It's just very, it's competent. It makes you laugh maybe half the time, maybe a third of the time.
Let's say a quarter to be safe.
It's got a little bit of action that's, somewhat flat, but it still moves at a reasonable pace. It's just, it's alright.
Yeah.
I might suggest it to Mida.
Very true. Very true. Good job, Tom. Good job to good old Nick Cage there. Good job, everybody.
Speaking of Mida, my most average film award is I Love My Dad, directed by James Morricini.
I missed that one, but
which I haven't seen many people talk about, and I've recommended it to some people because I think it's genuinely worth the watch. It's very messy, and it sort of slows down halfway through just to focus on the sole premise of what if your dad was sexting you. But I mean, I like Patton Oswalt. I think he has white boy swag. He's pretty good.
And he hasn't been in a film since Space Cop, right?
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while since we've seen Patton. I don't know where he went for all those years.
Yeah. Perfect.
But it's just a pretty enjoyable Sunday afternoon movie. Makes you laugh. Makes you not cry, but makes you
let's not go
makes you
overboard
watch
here.
someone in the film cry and go, that's kind of sad.
Wow, that was the most average award, speeches ever. Good job.
And any of the films mentioned, feel free to put that on your Blu-ray case. Put your award there. Most average film award.
Yeah, with the golden olive leaves, the branches. Most average film award. The 2022 Nities. I think that'll really boost sales.
Yeah, if anyone sees your Blu-ray in HMV, they might pick it up. Most average film.
If I was at Target and I saw a film that said the most average film, I'd buy it. I'd pay $20 for that, actually. Ooh, this envelope here is a little sticky. You want to be careful with this one.
Okay, what's it say on the front of it?
It says here, the Viggo Mortensen Memorial Best Cock Award, parentheses, and Lifetime Achievement.
Yes, we would like to give Viggo Mortensen his Lifetime Achievement for having the best cock in cinema.
One of the best appearances of a cock ever, indeed, I have to say.
But we're talking about this year's cocks.
Yes, the award is named after the great Viggo Mortensen, but this is for excellence in penis performance in the year of 2022. So, if you would like to please have the honor, let the people know what are your thoughts.
I would, thank you. I have my best cock here. It is Steve-O's Beehive from Jackass Forever. How glorious. You know, I've seen the Jackass cocks a lot throughout my whole life.
Plenty.
I saw Jackass Forever on the big screen, and seeing Steve-O's magnificent package in higher than 4K. I was sat in the front row. It was ginormous. I took my mother to see Jackass Forever, which is pretty fun.
Nice. Good move.
I wasn't expecting so much cum in the intro, but...
Hey, you know...
A ballsack full of stingers. Like, what else do you want from a cock?
Yeah, I mean, if anything, the best, literal performance, you put it on the line for that one. So, hats off, Steve-O. You did it again. You got another cock award. I'm sure you have many.
Many cock awards. You can hang them off of his cock. Like cock rings.
And he has a pretty small cock, but it's impressive what he can do.
They're very small awards, though, so...
True. What I have is a actor from the film Pleasure, which came out here in the States 2022. I'll be giving the award to one Mr. Chris Cock. I mean, it's in the name. He was really lined up for this one. But I think that he really did a great job of using his penis to penetrate and do other sexual acts, you know?
No, yeah, he was pretty good this year. I get that.
Yeah, just, really went out there. It's just good baseball, right? It's not always about hitting all the home runs. He threw in some RBIs. He jabbed his penis with a needle and did some double penetration, which isn't always easy. That's definitely asking for a lot from our performers. So, Chris Cock, congratulations.
Nice cock, buddy.
Nice cock. Let's see. Would you like to read the next one if you could?
I have to read out the whole thing.
Could you please read out the entire award name? Thank you.
The Spookie-wookiest scary movie moment of the year award.
Interesting.
An award presented to those moments that just make you quiver with fear. Why quiver? What?
That's pretty intense, but okay. You're probably gonna hate me for my choice because it ain't even a horror film, but
That's pretty funny though.
it is the horrors of war. It's the horrors of genocide. I'm giving my spookiest, scary movie moment of the year award to the. Don't laugh. Fucking asshole.
To the horrors of war, my spooky-wookiest scary movie moment of the year award.
It will go to the film Hive.
The whole film?
The whole film, really. It's a Kosovo-ian film, and it's about a woman whose husband is missing due to the recent wars in the areas, and indeed, I found myself kind of scared, sort of unnerved by the levels of sexism that the woman and her friends experience in this film, as well as just sort of the overall. There's especially a scene early on where she goes to a field where they are identifying bodies, and is definitely a very unnerving film. Great film. I think people should check it out. I think it's on Criterion Channel now and Canopy in the US, so the movie is Hive. Very spooky-wooky indeed.
Congratulations to misogyny and wartime struggles for
That's
winning
right,
the spooky-wookiest scary movie moment of the year award.
Great job, misogyny. You did it.
So my choice for the spooky-wookiest scary movie moment of the year award is the Gordy's home incident from Nope.
Ah, interesting.
It was a very chilling scene, which horror rarely chills me. It's not a boast, but a fact.
Right.
But Jordan Peele, he's such a creative visual director in the way that scene is constructed. Like, mostly shot from under the table. It's a very sort of almost nightmarish concept. And I mean that literally. I have a lot of nightmares where it's an average situation goes very wrong and it's completely out of your control to solve the issue.
Right.
That's my idea of what a nightmare is. So
definitely one of the most unique, creative, and just, different horror scenes to happen this year. It's not a jump scare. It's not like, it's a little out of the box, which is nice. And yeah, really, really great job. So I'll have to definitely agree with that assessment.
About as scary as the war and sexism.
Almost as scary.
Good job, Jordan. All right. No, you're reading out the title next. I'm there.
Yes,
I remember the order.
Yes, we're now sort of into what you might call the actual awards.
The real awards.
You'd be an asshole if you said that, but it's true. It's true. Next awards go to Best Makeup. Best Makeup. What do you say, Joel? What do you think had the best makeup this year?
So, best makeup for me, hands down, is The Monsters, directed by Rob Zombie. Do we have a share?
We have a double shot, baby. Let's go. The Monsters.
First double award of the night.
Fucking love The Monsters, baby.
What a great time The Monsters was. And I hear that that's controversial. I hear that not a lot of people enjoyed The Monsters. I just had a blast throughout the whole film.
And like the point is it's supposed to be a little bad. Like it's Rob Zombie.
It's Rob Zombie, who's a very acquired taste. But I've been a Rob Zombie fan for years at this point, which is sort of embarrassing to admit. But The Monsters is Rob Zombie finally saying, you know what, you will complain about all the screaming rednecks in my films. What if I just make the most, like, cheesiest, family-friendly, goofy, funny film that I can? Because I just love The Monsters so much. And then he did it. He successfully made it. And the makeup in the film specifically, what we're here to talk about.
Yes.
Like, I've seen these actors a lot of times before. Jeff Daniel Phillips especially. We all love him quite a lot.
I love that guy.
The transformation that they all go through to look like so creatively like the monsters of the TV series. They're almost like unrecognizable, all of the actors, except Sherry Moon, who I'm sure Rob Zombie just wanted to look at Sherry Moon Zombie some more.
I gotta say, the makeup almost makes them look animated, you know? They're really elevated out of the real world, which is the whole point of the monsters, you know? These are monsters. They're supposed to not really, they shouldn't exude normalcy. Yeah, it's the monsters. It's fun. I'm glad that we don't have to do 2 separate awards and two separate monologues. We can just keep on going.
That's the mutual monsters fun here. It's loved by the whole family. And up next, we have Best Score. A lot of great scores this year.
Yes.
A lot of incredible ones. I'll hand it over to you.
Thank you. You know, not a lot of just scores in general nowadays, aren't there? Right? You know, music is kind of taking a back seat. But I believe this film and whatever the fuck Joel decides are really keeping the music alive and well, still playing. My award this year goes to Inu-Oh, the animated feature from Masaki Yuasa. I mean, I get that it's a music film, but it doesn't change the fact that it has a kick-ass soundtrack. Like, it's it's great.
What is a musical if not putting the score first in a movie?
Exactly. Very fun, mixing traditional Japanese music with a sort of 80s hair metal, hair rock sound. Very creative, very fun, and only elevated by a pretty musical and audiophilic director, Yuasa, and his team. Good job.
I never got around to Inu-Oh, sadly. I meant to, but it just never came out in cinemas near me. I live in the dry pits of cinema, which is England.
So sad. What do you have on your little piece of postcard there?
On my piece of postcard for best score, I have The Batman.
Ooh,
the score by Michael.
Yeah.
I want to say Giacchino. I've never actually checked. It could be Giacchino. I'm so sorry, Michael, but you won Best Score award.
Good job, Michael. Yeah, that's true.
I've been thinking about The Batman a lot, probably because I watched it right at the beginning of the year and then also in the middle of the year. So I've kind of just seeded a lot more of it through my year than I needed to.
Mm-hmm.
But at first I thought it was pretty almost comedic using something in the way. But like the more I think about it, the way that is like extrapolated into the entire score, it's sort of always there. Through this very sort of deep, dark orchestral score that's almost reminiscent of Danny Elfman's old Batman score, but just a little less gothic. It's very good, it really is, and it's almost a shame that it was not included in many award shows that I watched, including the big one that is upcoming that I will not mention.
That shall not be named. Yeah, it's very surprised. I mean, it really kind of, I don't want to say leans, but definitely has a bigger emphasis on music than other films this year. So,
Yeah.
too bad. But I will second that. I think that's a great assessment.
I'm glad that you're not just like harshly disagreeing with anything I've put.
I actually kind of like the Batman. So
They should do that at the Oscars. Have Warren Beatty like read out the award and then Faye Dunaway harshly disagrees. He's like, no, that film sucked.
just have a dissenter up there for everything.
There is no way that Coda won Best Picture. No way.
The next award will be given for Best Sound. So, not the music, but sort of the soundscape of the film.
The best sound is wine pouring into a glass.
Yes, mommy, yes. The best sound is waking up in Bermuda and the waves, and I'm drinking Moscato.
What thought you meant waking up in the Bermuda Triangle?
Oh God, we're
the sounds of panic as you and your entire ship are lost at the Bermuda Triangle.
The sounds of confusion and chaos.
Congratulations on best sound.
Tell me, Poppy, what do you got?
Best sound, it's a little like out of left field, but best sound for me was Jackass Forever.
Interesting.
They do a lot of like unrecognized sound work for the Jackass films. A lot of those are like punched up, replaced, given sort of the best sound that fits for the impact of the scene. And I think especially watching it on the big screen, I'm thinking specifically just like the first one, the human ramp, those impacts when the skateboard and the bike hit the ramp, those are like loud as fuck. And it really, really like puts you there in the scene, hearing all these really like loud thuds of men hitting the floor as hard as possible. It just makes the experience even more enjoyable.
Yeah, they obviously put a lot of thought into the sound, in some way or another.
And they always have. There are a lot of iconic sounds that come from Jackass, and it's not stopping anytime soon. Or it is, because we're probably not going to get another Jackass film for another 20 years, but...
Hey, I'm probably the most anticipated reboot that I can think of. But
make it a TV series. Bring back the TV series. In the age of streaming, when TV series cost about as much as a Jackass movie, do it. Why not?
Go for it. Have fun. I'm going to give something which is maybe a little cheating, but also it works.
You're cheating.
Yes, I'm giving best sound to Moon Age Daydream.
Ooh.
Because there are actually a lot of like non-score sounds in this. There's that. And also, in a way, the music that's used is not so much a score as it is a soundscape, right? It exists as an audio experience as opposed to I'm sitting down, I'm listening to, Diamond Dogs or Moon Age Daydream or any of, like, listen to a song, right? I think that it's all exist as sound, really, as the whole thing is an experience. Moon Age Daydream is an experience. And that's what I say. And honestly, these are pretty, obtuse awards anyways, so fuck it if it's even actually correlates to what it is. Fuck it. Best sound, Moon Age Daydream. Great
Just give
film.
it to whatever you want, fuck it. Why not? Happy birthday, David.
That's right. The awards are currently...
Congratulations on winning the Best Sound Award for your film, Moonage Daydream.
Yes, thank you for coming here and accepting the award. Ah, yes, well, you know, it's really great to be here.
That's what David sounds like.
Well, ever since the incident.
And now for our Nities halftime show, here's David Bowie with Tuesday's Child.
Oh, let's go. I fucking love this song. Thursday's Child, you fucking idiot. Oh, look, you made Bowie upset. He's storming off the stage.
He's not even performing the song. He just threw a drum at me.
You don't even know what fucking song he's playing. Do you know how much it costs to get him on here? He's fucking dead. Jesus Christ.
And now for the award for Best Visual Effects.
Ah, look at this one. This is gonna be fun.
Self-explanatory. It's just what looked the good in it.
Looked good.
I think
the goodest looking film I could think of. I'm giving it to RRR. You know? That film is what James Cameron wishes he was doing. It's actual spectacle. It's actually visually exciting. And I've definitely softened on this film a lot. You know, a lot of the excitement I had for this film was because I was in the theater. The theater was like electric. Everybody was like freaking out. It was a great time. But it's still a good solid film. You know, I'll give it that. And of course the visual effects are just visually, this film is fucking crazy. So one of the most visually exciting ones this year. Good job. Thank you very much. What do you
It's one of the ones I missed, which is unfortunate.
That's too bad. I hope you see it in the theater because
maybe
the Netflix screen really does not do it justice at all.
Are you saying that the small screen is not good for big action?
Imagine my shock.
Imagine. I'm giving Best Visual Effects to the goodest. I'm giving it specifically to Jean Jacket from Nope. Because that thing looks real. I believed it was there.
Okay, true. Yeah, it's very unique design, wasn't it? Very...
Well, the way it's all put together, the way it obviously looks like a classic sort of saucer, that's the word I'm looking for, saucer spaceship. But it's got these like skin ripples that move around, and it just sort of like hovers so unnaturally. The whole thing, the way it's put together is just like incredible for the film. And as I said, like, you could almost believe it's real. It's so like well implemented into the shot. Doesn't ever feel like it's been put in post.
That's true.
What an achievement.
It's very difficult. Even today, it's still difficult to make these sort of CGI elements not look cheesy in a real world environment. And I agree, it really was... It's almost like, if anything, there was at least some like weird green screen monster there, and they just like layered over. But really, is just well done, well done indeed.
It was just well planned shots and really good visual effects work to put one of the most unnatural looking things in the scene and make it look natural is an achievement in visual effects. So, yeah, amen to that. I think Nope has a good chance of winning the evening.
It's already got 2 awards. Yeah. Next is going to Best Achievement in Production Design. So this is overall sort of design from characters, costume, overall experiences, feelings, and sets, and other such things. Joel, please take it away. What do you say?
So we've had these lists going for a while, and for the longest time, it's not there anymore, but for the longest time I had the Monsters again.
Oh, jeez.
I think the Monsters production design was incredible. It looked great.
Definitely.
Swooped in right at the last minute for me, because it took me so long to watch it, is The Viewing by Panos Cosmatos.
Oh, true. Yep.
What a perfect little quirky sci-fi 70s house.
I could definitely... I feel like I should have seen this one coming.
And you spend the whole time in that house, and it's just beautiful to look at, no matter what angle it's shot from. And he has a funny little control panel that makes absolutely no sense, but it's perfect for the vibe of the film, because it's just it's completely like rows of unlabeled buttons.
And they control like 8 tracks. You know, it's just very, very thought out production design, and just the most disgustingly 70s thing ever, definitely.
Yeah. It's got like this whole like golden sheen over the whole thing, and it's very sort of like sterile. I mean, I say this about every Panos Cosmatos film, but that guy really knows how to capture the aesthetic of 70s sci-fi, but not all of the sort of boring story crap. He replaces that with good stories instead. Just
admit that you have a crush on Panos.
I've admitted it before, and I will admit it far into the future.
Let's see if I may announce my winner.
You may.
Thank you. I will give the best production design to the Owen Klein directed Funny Pages.
Yeah.
I will. It's about the silly little teenage asshole who draws comics. And I realized about 15 minutes into this film that it's actually a bit of a period piece, you know, sort of like early 2010s maybe. And not only does, you know, the team nail that down, but this film is disgusting in ways that, you know, it's amazing in ways that, like, you know, it's not like things are covered in shit or, you know, people are vomiting. It's just the environment that they're in. You know, the main character, I believe his name is Robert. He lives in a basement apartment that just, it looks sweltering and like cramped and disgusting. The people he lived with, it's just overall the visual cohesiveness towards just grossness and just the most terrible things you could ever see outside of like monsters or gore or anything. I think that this film really knocks it out of the park.
Maybe I'll actually watch it.
Oh, you'll love it.
You told me to watch it.
I have told you a couple times, yes.
Never got round to it because there were a lot of films this year.
There were. I mean, I think that you could have possibly gone without watching a couple of them to see Funny Pages, but, you know, not like you ever listen to me. I love this guy.
Shark Side of the Moon was a pretty important watch, okay? How did those sharks get to the moon?
I mean, those questions answered and more.
In Funny Pages.
Brother.
So we're getting to the big ones. The ones that even the biggest movie awards veer away from.
Yes.
Do you remember that? Didn't they threatened to not do best cinematography anymore? Everyone knows what they means, I hope.
Yeah, not any ethnic or religious group. We're talking about the Academy.
The unspeakable Academy that to destroy
those
best
disgusting
cinematography.
people. How dare they? Like, who cares about how a camera works in a fucking movie? What the fuck?
Let's see if we can out-controversy the Academy tonight with our best cinematography choices.
Oh, sure. Ah, man. Best cinematography. I guess I'm going first. That's right. Mm-hmm. That's how we're doing this. That's how we established this about an hour ago. Perfect.
Yep.
Great.
Someone introduces and then the other starts. That's how this has gone so far.
Amazing. The whole series. All right. Best cinematography, I'm giving to Decision to Leave.
Good choice. Really good choice.
It is, isn't it? Actually, like not even like a silly choice that I made.
I didn't choose it, but it's a really good choice. It's probably better than my choice.
Kim Ji-young, the cinematographer here, makes a film that feels both real and unreal. You know, there are scenes that feel just so unreal in the best way possible, I have to say. Like, almost like the two actors acted against a green screen and then they were plopped into these, you know, rooms, or the angles that he finds when our detective is, you know, snooping about, or really just anything. All the shots are unique, interesting, varied, and really lends itself to the crime genre. You know, it's puts you a little on edge, makes you a little curious, adds questions, answers them, and is overall beautiful in every way. That's what I will say.
How lovely. And I agree with everything you're saying. Decision to Leave was beautiful. Very creative as well. Very a lot of shots I wouldn't have expected from, you know, the type of film it was. The police procedural, that's the word I'm looking for.
Right.
Whenever I'm stalling, it's because I'm looking for a very simple word that I should have remembered hours ago.
Right. Basically, you know, there's no reason that, you know, based on the genre, you know, this could have played out like a Poirot, like BBC drama, you know, pretty plain and boring, but it's Park Chan-wook. It's our cinematographer here again, Kim Ji-young, and knocked it out of the park. I'm going to try to not say knock it out of the park again tonight, ever again. I apologize.
He's from Boston.
I fucking love baseball, dude. Come on. What do you want me to do?
I'm about to start a fight. I want you to be ready. You're about to take hands. I'm about to take hands.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting. What do you have to... What's your choice for best cinematography?
My award for best cinematography goes to Jaron Blaschke for The Northman.
Fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here with that.
I loved The Northman. I know you fucking despised it because you don't know how to have fun, but The Northman is...
Here's... No, actually, here's the thing. I'm actually going to agree with you. I'm going to say that if I'm going to make any concessions and say that something good came out of it, I'll give you the cinematography. I'll give you that. It's
very well shot.
Yeah. Yep.
But I just think it's a very good film overall, and I know you don't.
Well, you know, we're just talking about cinematography. How about we just stick to that?
I think the way that Jaron Blaschke shot all those really awesome action scenes and that really compelling dialogue is... He knocked it out of the park.
No. Using my own words against me.
It was a grand slam.
You know what? It's not the worst thing you could have said.
Oh yeah, what's the worst thing I could have said?
I don't know, probably like Hitler or something. I don't know.
For best cinematography. I mean, the state funeral of Queen Elizabeth was this year, so that's
magnifique.
pretty close.
Magnifique.
Best cinematography. I almost felt like I was watching that bitch rot.
Can't wait to get the Nities banned from the UK.
It's about time, frankly.
Oh, Lord.
Anyway, back to our film awards.
Yeah, interesting. Interesting. What do we have here? What's next? Best editing. That's what we have here. The best in editing arts. Editors nowadays, especially, I feel are pretty underappreciated.
Yeah.
But we're here to change that. And Joel,
nowadays, I feel like everyone in the film industry is under-recognized except for actors.
That's true. And the occasion, not even directors. Fuck the movies.
Even directors. Everyone goes to see like Marvel movies, and I don't even know who's directing some of them.
And Marvel movies, they don't even go for the actors. It's just
the characters now.
Let's try to lighten up the mood here. Come on.
All of our bad stuff was worse films at the beginning. We're supposed to be happy now.
What do you say? What is the best edited film this year, my friend?
The best edited film is Shin Ultraman.
Ooh, exciting.
Directed by Hideaki. No, Hideaki didn't direct it. He wrote it. I'm already fucking up.
We did fuck it up.
It's directed by Shinji Higuchi, actually.
I actually thought that.
Edited by Hideki Anno.
Okay.
And Yohei Kurihara.
Truthfully, I thought he directed it too, but...
No, it's confusing because he just directed Shin Godzilla and Shin Kamen Rider. But he skipped Ultraman for some reason.
He's in every other crew slot. He just didn't direct it.
Actually, I know the reason why he skipped this one. It's because he knew Shin Ultraman would be perfected by someone who has a size fetish. And he was right. There's a lot of size fetishism in this film.
That's true. And I'm kind of here for it.
But it's a very compelling film. I was expecting to enjoy it. I wasn't expecting to enjoy it as much as I did. Ended up giving it like top marks. I thought it was excellent. And a lot of that is how it's edited. It's not afraid of like goofy cutaways. It's not afraid of like multiple camera angles. They really just throw every classic trick in the book, and I really appreciated that from a superhero film in this day and age.
Interesting.
When every other choice of superhero film is just like grey slop. It's just nothing.
You're telling me that a superhero film can be exciting and fun?
It can be comic style.
Oh, interesting.
It can be fun. It doesn't have to be a 2-hour epic about how in the next film they might die.
And speaking of runtime and editing, this is apparently 112 minutes. I had no idea. Because this film just snaps by. Seriously, it could be 60 minutes. It's just
a speedy film. It's perfect.
And
what a picture!
Not to spoil too much, but some of the cast may make a reappearance later tonight. I don't know. But it's my turn. Best editing.
I know what that means, and I'm not happy. But go ahead.
I might have slid my hand a bit too early here, but giving this award to the American equivalent of Shin Ultraman, that'll be the film Elvis. Editors Matt Villa and Jonathan Redman.
The American equivalent of Shin Ultraman.
It's a misunderstood hero. Am I right? Am I right in understanding this?
Truly.
Right? I think I got that right. Elvis it surprised me how much I liked it.
It's a great film, yeah.
Even no matter how much I still give it 3 stars, it's like the biggest 3 stars ever. And a lot of that comes down to the editing. A lot of people swear by Baz Luhrmann and his visual style, but that visual style comes from the editing. And, the team that he put together for this, put together some, being basically an American film. I know that Baz is an Aussie, but that doesn't really count. For an American film, a big studio one at that, coming out in 2022 to do something as exciting as this one has, with its cuts and fades and weird, dissolves, into other scenes. I have to tip my hat to it. It's one of the more exciting films I saw this year.
Yeah, I think, Baz Luhrmann, I know he didn't edit the film himself, but...
Right.
Baz Luhrmann's sort of, very frantic idea of what a film should be, it takes very good editors to construct that. And, what is it, Villa and Redmond? They did a very good job, is what I'm trying to say. And Elvis was a shocker. I was expecting it to just be another Rocket Man, where it was just it was pretty good, but I'm not going to think about it forever. But no, I'm going to think about Elvis forever.
Kind of, actually. I could go to watch it again, actually, now that I think about it.
It's one of the most exciting films of the year. One of the ones where I really, felt like I was back at cinema. Because cinema closed in 2020 and just never really came back until now. Yeah.
It's definitely... You don't always need a Baz Luhrmann film, but this one came in clutch when we really needed it. So, I believe that you will be reading the next one. We're really...
I'm going to have to try and explain the next one, because so far they've been pretty straightforward, but out of left field to bring back baseball, best original idea.
Wow.
Which is...
Let's try to be more specific.
very confusing.
So
I'm not even sure I know what the fuck best original idea means.
Well, we have a best writing award. That'll be the next one. Sorry to spoil it. But
shit.
Best original idea does not necessarily denote the best writing. No offense. It's still probably good writing. But think of it almost as best screenplay. I guess we could almost say. Not that we've actually read the screenplays. But
it's so funny because the way you explained this to me earlier in the year, you said it was sort of the most creative take on a film.
Yeah, that's true too. That's true.
So the most interesting film, and I went with that. I put it what I would consider to be a pretty bad film.
Oh, okay, and that's okay because it's still an original idea.
Yeah,
I imagine. I don't know, but you're up first. What do you say?
You're up first. I introduced best original idea, so you are up first.
I don't think Europe's touring anymore. But got 'em.
This is falling apart at the seams. They wouldn't have. Actually, no, they would do this at the big one, the big awards.
They would actually pull that shitty
They would
joke.
fumble for 2.5 hours and then have some weird sexual harassment gag.
True, very true. Best original idea. My pick is You Won't Be Alone.
I don't think I've ever heard of this. So.
It's in your watch list, so fuck you. It is a Serbian film. Actually, it takes place in Macedonia, but it is about...
It's a Serbian film.
It is.
Oh, no.
It's basically it's a Serbian film. No, it is. It is about a young woman who grows up isolated from the rest of the town because her mother is scared of a witch taking her away. Spoiler, the witch takes her away anyways, and this woman gets the ability to shapeshift. And in doing so, by consuming other people, she's able to take on the lives of other people. And these include men, for example. And so this film is a bit of a trans allegory. And I think as an original idea, probably up there this year. Obviously enough to win Best Original Idea. I think that it executed I wouldn't say it's totally unique. It's based on fairy tale and myth, but with a modern twist that I think puts it above the rest.
That sounds very, very good, very interesting, very original.
Very original idea, thank you.
Makes me look like a sociopath for my
well. What did you say?
Best Original Idea, Nities 2020.
Uh-oh.
Halloween Ends, baby.
You fucking asshole.
That film was pretty bad, but my god, if it wasn't the most fascinating thing I've seen in years.
I actually agree with you 100% on this.
That film plagued my thoughts, like, genuinely 100% of the time. For about 5 days after I watched it. It was so fascinating. It was like watching a massacre, you know?
Seriously.
Like, that thing sticks with you, and Halloween Ends. I was already so fascinated as to where they would go with the new Halloween trilogy after Halloween Kills, which we've talked about extensively in our Halloween episode. Halloween Ends was already sort of having to build upon a dumpster fire. And instead of putting out the fire, they just sort of like...
How big can we make this?
They put enough gasoline on the dumpster fire to burn down maybe half the town, like it's the Great Fire of London. And frankly, that's way more compelling than just a dumpster being on fire. I wouldn't have expected them to go for the route they did for a Halloween film to be about, like, indoctrination and, like, compelling young lonely men to do horrible things. Such a fascinating place to take Michael Myers, a place that I wouldn't say he's been before, but I'm speaking like I love this film and I don't. I love the idea of this film.
Right. You love it in the same way that you like watching car wrecks.
This is what I mean by sociopathic choice for best original idea.
No, it's honestly one of the best original ideas, despite being a sequel reboot sort of thing. It dumbfounded me, and I'll give it that.
It changed my entire outlook of the Halloween sequel trilogy. From one of the most cobbled together messes in horror history to one of the most fascinatingly cobbled together messes in horror history. Oh shit, I kicked the mic.
Well, we have the Best Writing Award. This goes out to all of the silly quips and other things, actually. I didn't write anything down for this, actually, which kind of goes to show how qualified I am to talk about the best writing. But Joel...
Which is why Chandler wins worst writing of the year.
Most definitely. What do you say, Joel? What is the best writing?
The best writing of the year, almost like unquestionably so, is Martin McDonagh for The Banshees of Inisherin.
Sure. Yeah.
Actually. A perfect script. So thoughtful, yet so comedic. I was laughing endlessly.
Yeah.
What else is there to say? I
you
mean,
know,
I'm holding back from saying stuff for some reason or another. But
you're just trying not to gush. I appreciate that. Yeah, it really
maybe I'll have more
captures.
to say later.
Oh, yeah. If you really want to capture the soul of the Irish folk, really does that in Banshees. It's really all about bottling it up and being an absolute dickhead to everybody around you. Just spot on writing, as they would say over there in the islands. For me, we're getting ourselves a little bit of a double winner because I'm giving best writing to Decision to Leave.
Oh wow, it's really coming back. It's taken the evening.
It deserves it, I think. The relationships that are built on the basis of dialogue and writing in this film is truly literary. It's beautiful. It's stunning. And I'm getting, sort of half of it because obviously I don't speak Korean. So, if the subtitles are that good, I mean, this film really takes the cake. I believe everything that's being said. Everything that's being said is so just it's butter. It's just butter. And it's exciting, it's a little sexy, it's a little confusing, and it is all good. A little, I think just a little confusion is helpful in pushing a point.
I do agree. I think that it's a very, very compelling film. Wrote two very unique characters for a police procedural of all things. I'm like slurring my words like I'm wasted.
You good? I mean,
I'm good. I'm fine.
I feel like the backstage bar might cut you off now, probably for the best. We still got a little bit of ways to go here. But
I mean, by the end of the night, I'm gonna be like Joaquin Phoenix rambling through his weird vegan speech when he won for like Joker or something.
Truly Joker behavior with that one. Oh, brother. Tell me what the next one is, my friend.
The next one, which is maybe what some would consider the biggest.
Sure.
Best directing. Here we are.
Yeah.
As directors ourselves, this is the exciting one.
Yes.
You say sure as if we're not directors.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
We've both made films.
Yeah.
What is directing if not making a film?
Well,
that's my byline for directing.
I mean, if you want to believe in the super death cult of the auteur.
So, self-explanatory, best directing. I think you should just get into it.
I think that the best directing ought to go to Celine Sciamma, however you say it. She's French, I don't care. Petite Maman.
Petite Maman.
This film fucking destroyed me. It fucking killed me. I was so sad after watching this film. And a lot of that came to the direction, how people were acting, how things were set up. And you just know Celine was heavy on the ground, especially when it comes, you must have to with kid actors. It's pretty hands-on, and this is one of the most stunningly beautiful films, story-wise, or like, sort of, outside of the visuals themselves, but and for all of this to happen in 72 minutes, Joel,
it's impressive. Yeah,
72 minutes. I don't know why films are 2 hours. I watched a 2-hour film and I'm like, maybe there's like 10 minutes of content here, you wasted my fucking time. Celine Sciamma used all 72 minutes, plus some of that's like credits too, so it's probably like 68 minutes. I mean, it's just fucking, it's homicide the way that she's killing the game right now.
She's given Shinya Tsukamoto a run for his money.
Seriously. Celine Sciamma is the Shinya Tsukamoto of France. I would fucking love to see her make Tokyo Fist, or maybe Paris Fist.
Go for it. It's about
Please
time
do.
we had French Tetsuo.
Yo! Actually. But I'd like to hear from you, Joel. Who do you think takes the cake this year?
For the third time tonight, he's back.
Shit.
Park Chan-wook for Decision to Leave.
Hey, honestly, yeah. I could have easily have just given it to him as well, but
I'm sort of just like accumulating what we've already said for cinematography and writing.
Right.
But I mean, altogether, I'm not too familiar with Park Chan-wook's work except for like Old Boy, which everyone's seen. I think everyone. But Decision to Leave is so, as I've said already, like compelling, so creative in how it decides to portray this. I mean, this is the same year I watched Death on the Nile, which is a lot more like straightforward and a lot less exciting. So that's what I really appreciate about Decision to Leave, is that it was a very exciting watch as well as being a good mystery.
Sure.
And a very very interesting love story as well. A story about two just absolute weirdos.
And it's one of those non-love stories. I recently watched River of Grass, which is a Reichardt. One of those films, sort of like an anti-love film, despite it being there. It's a very, very tough thing to juggle. And Park does it.
Pulls it off. Congratulations to Park for certainly being one of the biggest winners of the night.
Apparently stealing the Nities.
Okay, where are we? What are we?
All right, Grandpa, we are at Best Actors now.
Oh, I remember the actors, the John Wayne, the...
Oh, yeah, let's not talk about him.
I was going to say Cary Grant, but my mind threw up Cary Elwes.
Carrie Brownstein, yep, great work.
All the greats. We have 5 Best Actors.
Correct.
5 of these fuckers.
So, just to clarify a few things, this is gender neutral. And to make things totally fair, clear, transparent, equal, it is indeed a class of 5 actors. That being anybody who appears in front of the camera in any of the films.
Lead and supporting. We're not differentiating.
Too.
They're all actors to us.
Yep. I don't give a shit about actors, so yeah.
And you know what? We're giving out 5 awards. That's one more than the Oscars, so we beat them again. We're winning.
Let's fucking go, dude. So good. So I will start.
Please.
And again,
free.
we'll collate as we go through. First one is a joint
going off script, but...
award.
Oh yeah.
I'm giving it to Franz Rogowski and George Friedrich from the film Great Freedom. I think that obviously you don't have one without the other, so I think that these both totally deserve a joint award. I don't know if you saw Great Freedom. I don't think anybody saw Great Freedom.
No one did.
It's post-war. Honestly, apparently just me. It's post-war Germany, and after the war, just in case you thought being gay wasn't fun enough, they actually took the homosexual prisoners of war in concentration camps, because gays were also sent to concentration camps. And because homosexuality was illegal in Germany, even after the end of World War II, they got to live out the rest of their sentences in jail after being in fucking concentration camps. Thanks, America. So it's that story, and it's about as happy as you think it is, which isn't.
Sounds like it would take two very good actors to portray such a harrowing story. You
would be very correct in saying that, my friend. Franz and George, you did a great job. You were pretty gay, and I like that. I appreciate that in a man.
Good job, gays.
Another win for gays.
In the year we also had Bros. Well done, gays, for making a good gay film.
You know, it's not inherent. It's not inherent. Tell me, what's next, my friend?
What, do you want me to give 2? Seems as you've given 2. Or...
Well, no, I still have 5 movies, 5 awards I'm giving out. So...
you're just giving it to 6 actors, I guess.
7, but go ahead.
Class of 5, mate, come on.
Like I said, they're basically the same. You don't have one without the other. Like, it's basically one role, even, you could say. So, fuck you. Go ahead. What's your first one?
My first one is Jared Carmichael for On the Count of 3. I believe a lot of people saw this at festivals in 21, but it came out for me in 22. And I mean, this is also like a pseudo best directing and best acting award, because I just want to give him both. But On the Count of 3.
See, you're bending the rules too.
I mean, I'm not actually giving him best directing because that went to Park Chan-wook.
Yeah. Okay, whatever.
But I'm saying that Jared Carmichael, if he happens to ever hear this podcast, is on the same level as Park Chan-wook for me.
Okay. Cool.
It's a great film, bolstered by its 2 lead performances, but specifically Jared Carmichael, who really captures the sort of emotional vibe of, I want to say, our generation. We're so young, but we're also depressed and suicidal all the time, and it seems like there's no hope.
True.
So yeah, Happy New Year.
Honest to God, hand on my heart, I've never actually heard of this film in my entire life. I feel like I would have recommended it to you, but I will recommend it again to everyone. On the Count of 3, directed by Jared Carmichael. Well,
starring Jared and also Christopher Abbott, who I've never met anyone who doesn't like Christopher Abbott, so...
That's fair. And I guess it's always good to remind everybody that we have absolutely no authority in film, since I don't even know what the fuck Joel's talking about.
We have so much authority. These are factual awards.
I'll give it. Once again, put them on your Blu-ray case. We'll sell units.
Yeah, best actor, class of 5. We want the whole thing.
Please, the whole thing with the parentheses. Thank you.
If you have the room, please include the other 4 actors for fairness.
Everybody from both of us, actually. So there's probably going to be 13 or so actors on this.
13 actors. You can put yours at the top of the list if you want to.
Yeah, but of course.
All 13, please put them on the cover.
Thank you. Next for me is going to go to Gwendolyn Christie for her performance in Flux Gourmet.
Right, not for a performance in Wednesday, the TV series.
Well, these are strictly movies here. Okay.
Damn.
So for her role as Jan Stevens, the very pretentious and uptight and very silly, quirky, governess of the culinary audio institute that she runs. Just one of the most silly performances I've seen of the year. One of the most self-serious, but also at the same time, it's Peter Strickland. It's not taking itself too seriously. I just love her in this film. She's great. Gwendolyn Christie. She was in the Personal History of David Copperfield, which everybody saw. You remember that one?
Yeah, that was the one big franchise she was in, and she's never been in any other big
franchises.
None of them.
Yep.
Just like what's his face? That one really famous Max von Sydow.
Oh, right. Seventh Seal. Good job.
That was no big franchises under his belt.
Other than Bergman, he's never touched anything big in the movie field ever. Tell me what's next. I didn't
watch Flux Gourmet, but I watched Blank Narcissus. It didn't win any awards.
Blank Narcissus could have won Best Cock. It's definitely,
if we'd thought ahead and done Best Short Film, it probably would have won Best Short Film.
So true.
But Blank Narcissus, also directed by Peter Strickland, was very, very fun.
Let's just make up the Best Short Film award right now. Fuck it. Good
right
job.
In the middle of Best Actors. Blank Narcissus. Best Short Film.
Good job, Peter. You got 2 awards, technically.
Peter's coming out on top. Just like the guy in Blank Narcissus.
Just like Blank Narcissus. Wah, wah. Anyways, moving on. Back to Best Actors. What's your next pick?
My next pick... I think we might have some crossover here, but I'll be surprised if I'm wrong. Cate Blanchett for Tar.
You'd be surprised, but that's still a good choice.
You don't have Cate Blanchett for Tar?
Do I not? Wait, why is... Oh, wow. I don't even have it anywhere here. That's interesting.
Chandler fucking hates Tar, by the way.
I love Tar.
Not anymore, you don't.
Apparently not enough, but...
Yeah, Tar was pretty good. It wasn't groundbreaking. It was a solid 8 out of 10.
Solid.
I'd recommend it to people easily. But specifically, Cate Blanchett's performance is
so true,
incredible, goddamn groundbreaking. I buy every second of it. I'm not shocked that one fucking asshole was I thought this was a biography, and when I found out it was fictional, I hated the film. That one weirdo, you remember him? They wrote the article about it.
That person who wrote a whole ass article about thinking that Tar was real. That's kind of a sad move, but
I get it, because Cate Blanchett's performance was very good.
So it was documentary quality. It really was. Hey,
The real downfall. What a very compelling argument that entertaining gamers is rock bottom.
Yeah, yes, actually. I know a lot of people were kind of mad about that. It's the truth, though.
It's a funny punchline. If you can't laugh at yourself, who can you laugh at,
So true.
So lighten up, gamers. You will forever be cinema's punchline.
You will be the punchline of everything, ever since Roger Ebert kind of put you on that path. Next one, for me, may surprise you, may not. I don't know.
I'm gonna be shocked.
The next one, Best Actor, goes to none other than Mr. Seth Rogen in The Fabelmans.
Oh, I'm really glad you put that, because he's honestly my 6th choice. I'm not joking.
Here's the thing. You chose Tar for me, and I chose Seth Rogen for you. It was a bit of a friendship trade.
We could have just swapped them.
I guess I feel like that would have made a lot more sense. But Seth Rogen continues to do our mom in The Fabelmans. Absolute turn. This is Seth Rogen of all people, but I mean, out of anybody, Steven Spielberg is obviously the one who's going to pull him in and just push him out as a legit actor. I don't want to be mean to Mr. Rogen, but he did sort of he was in Sausage Party. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
He was in Sausage
Fucking
Party.
wrote Sausage Party. How embarrassing.
I mean, that's sort of where he's coming from. So, you know, seeing him make this turn and make it so smoothly and legitimately, like he kills the role as Uncle What's His Nuts, fucking Benny.
Uncle What's His Nuts. Classic character.
Classic American character. I loved him. He was super lovable, super legit, and like when the final scene with him, it actually did kind of break my heart a little bit. I think that they were too mean to him. You know, I think that it's okay to cheat on Paul Dano with his wife Michelle Williams. I mean, come on, it's fucking
he's so
Paul
nice,
Dano,
and he's so happy that his son's making films.
Paul
he watches
Dano.
the films and he loves them, and then he goes home and says, "Yeah, but you could be an engineer." Now, I completely agree with Seth Rogen. I would have put him on if it was Class of 6, but
hey,
I have this thing with like comedic actors that I'm not a fan of turning in a dramatic performance that just blows me away.
Sure.
Thinking of like Adam Sandler in Punch Drunk Love. Obviously, that's the classic. Jim Carrey in Truman Show.
Right.
You get these performances where you're like, you know what? I misjudged you. You are a good actor. You're just not very funny. And Seth Rogen has joined that like pantheon of comedic actors who aren't funny but are actually good actors.
Yeah. And I agree. It's almost too easy. You know, he sort of, especially because it's Steven Spielberg. Like, obviously, he's going to turn him into a perfect machine. But, you know, I thought it was great. It honestly took me a minute because I didn't even know the cast much past Paul Dano going into this. And so I was looking and I was like, is that fucking Seth Rogen?
I have maybe the most obvious choice for me. Austin Butler for Elvis.
Oh, okay. That was definitely on the short list for me.
He became Elvis, to use all the buzzwords. It's like I was watching Elvis on the screen.
Right.
Austin Butler is Elvis. Elvis came to life once again. Elvis is back in the building.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Are there any other buzzwords? Like, do you want to throw out any?
He really encapsulates Elvis.
That's good.
Thank you.
I mean, I don't know anything about Austin Butler. I think his stint as a child actor was just after my time of watching children's shows.
Right.
If he even was a child actor, again, I know like dick all about him. But you know, someone I've never heard of coming in and giving that performance as Elvis is just like incredible work and should definitely be recognized for how much work he put into that performance.
I hope so. Yeah, it's pretty legit. He went up there and he said, "It has everything to do with us." That was pretty big.
Lord have mercy.
My next one is it's the other double tag that I was talking about, but you'll agree with it because I'm giving it to Colin Farrell and Brendan Gleeson in The Banshees of Inisherin. Again,
it's nice that they both got it. Wow.
Well, it's like, what do you do? How do you give Colin Farrell the award and not Brendan Gleeson, or Brendan Gleeson not like? What does that look like? What are the optics on that? You know. So, it definitely deserves. Can you imagine like Brendan Gleeson wins an award for like best actor or anything, and like Colin Farrell doesn't? And it's like, just next time they meet up, he'd be so fucking pissed.
Oh, this is hilarious because next on my list is Colin Farrell for the
oh no! You bastard!
Hey, I didn't do any doubles. I said I'm a purist when it comes to Class
Oh,
of 5.
fuck me, dude.
I gave it to Colin for Banshees and also After Yang and also the Batman. He's in like 3 of the
Oh
best films
shit!
of
You
the
just
year.
you threw in like multiple movies. Okay,
Yeah.
damn.
Because it's best actors, and he was the best actor in like 3 films this year,
I
so.
guess. Damn.
This is the
Okay.
year of Colin Farrell, like,
Yeah,
undoubtedly.
kind of actually. Okay. Damn.
I did the opposite of you. You did multiple actors, I did multiple films.
Multiple films. Okay. That's still legit. Yeah, Colin Farrell obviously kills it in Banshees. Brendan Gleeson,
Yeah.
just the most spiteful hag ever. And I mean that, of course, in the best way possible.
I love someone who's willing to go through so much just to be stubborn. I represent that kind of lifestyle.
Yep. Yeah, just
And I mean also like Kerry Condon and Barry Keoghan were
of
also
course.
very good. Just
It's
the
an
whole
act,
like
yeah.
lead 4 cast of Banshees.
It's an actor's film, absolutely all the way. They everybody sent it 100% with this one. So, we may only say Colin and Brendan, but obviously the film, probably one of the best you could say ensembles of the years.
Yeah.
If we thought ahead and made that award, but again, fuck it. You know what? We're having fun with it.
And you know what? Special shout out to Colin Farrell's eyebrows for doing the reverse V shape for the whole film.
The entire film, the amount of strain that they must have been under the entire time. God bless them.
He put a lot into that eyebrow acting, and that's why he came out on top for me. He just went above and beyond.
That's true. Brendan didn't have the eyebrows.
Brendan also didn't have After Yang or the Batman.
Or any fingers. Womp womp.
Oh, good one. Funny.
Hey, I got
Apparently, Brendan's gonna be in Joker too, so that's when we'll next see him.
See you, Brendan.
I like
Have
how
fun.
you went silent. I like when you went fucking silent for that.
Yeah, no comment. No comment. We'll see you. We'll
so
see you next time, Brendan.
Your last actor,
My last
I believe.
actor, actually only one this time.
All right.
I am going to give it to Diamond Stingley. Stingley? Very sorry, but you were in the African Desperate.
I'm gonna give it to
Sting.
Yeah. I know where you are. I remember that film.
Yes.
You're gonna have to really sell this film because I don't think many
I'm
people
gonna have
watched
to.
it.
Okay, because people haven't. I know that you didn't care for it.
No, I didn't think it was bad, but it didn't like stick with me.
That's totally fine. I found this to be probably one of the most exciting American films this year. And a lot of that's because of Diamond. I mean, she gives this very deadpan, but also just very full character. Like, you can tell that there's a fullness of character in there. And a lot of that comes down to her acting. This is The African Desperate by Martine Sims. Yeah, only 4.1 thousand views on Letterboxd. Compare that to, like, even something like, You Won't Be Alone, which we talked about, which you barely even knew about. That has 19,000. People
I don't know what the fuck you were on about.
Exactly, and we're talking about The African Desperate here. It's on Mubi. Like, it's not hard to find. But I'm really fucking with Martine Sims coming out as a director. They've made a lot of shorts. This is their directorial debut. And shout out to Diamond for taking this one all the way.
Yeah. I'm excited to see what's next for both of them.
Very true. Yeah.
I wasn't the biggest fan of The African Desperate, but again, like, a smaller film not being that good, I'm still very much... I want to see more from them. I want to see what they can do. I just think it was a maybe a one-off, not for me kind of film, rather than an overall bad film.
Sure.
So
And
you
also,
should definitely watch The African Desperate. Don't like take Chandler's word for it.
and I also think that it's fair. I feel like this is a film that deserves harsher, I don't want to say scrutiny, but it's a legitimate film. It's not some stupid blockbuster. So, it's almost like 2 stars for this is equivalent to like 4 stars for Top Gun Maverick. It's sort of definitely in a different class. And hey, I really liked it. So I even bought the screenplay book. Speaking of not reading the screenplays, I actually did read the screenplay. And you have one more actor, if I'm not mistaken. If you could please,
I do.
Share that with the class.
To subvert everyone's expectations, my final best actor of the year is David Howard Thornton as Art the Clown in Terrifier 2.
Oh.
I'm not kidding.
Okay. You're not joking. I'm not laughing.
I've been watching Terrifier on loop for years, and I think it's great. And we got Terrifier 2 finally. And once again, like, David Howard Thornton comes back and portrays this, like, undeniably creepy but very sort of fun, energetic clown. And as a clown myself, I just have to appreciate the effort that he puts into that performance.
Real recognizes real.
David Howard Thornton as Art the Clown, just one better than Seth Rogen in The Fabelmans.
Damn, that's tough.
And he can put that on his acting CV.
One better than Seth Rogen.
Better than anyone in The Fabelmans, according to me.
Apparently.
Like, how harsh I was.
Wow, okay.
And I loved The Fabelmans, but it just came out too late. I'd already given out all my awards.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, it came out like basically December 31st for all intents and purposes.
Well, it's technically not even out yet in the UK.
Oh shit!
But I've seen it. I've seen it in other ways.
Interesting. I wonder what that means. So we're coming up to the big film awards, as in entire films winning big awards. But before we get to the...
So I'm just trying to work out who the fuck is actually supposed to be introducing this.
I think you are.
You know what? You just go ahead. It's fine. Okay. It's okay.
Okay.
Cut you off mid-sentence for this.
This has really just fucked everything up. So before we get to the big award winners, we're going to highlight 3 honorable mentions. Maybe films that were sort of second best, or maybe didn't get an award early on, and we want to just shout them out.
I've sort of used this as films that I didn't get a chance to give an award to, but they're still like my favorites of the year. They would just happen to be beat on every category by something else.
Right. And it's these awards are tough. It's kind of dead. It's a dead heat in every single award, and I don't think it's really fair. It doesn't mean that other films are bad. It's just, there's only one slot. So, but since I apparently stole this introduction from you, I will definitely allow you to tell me your first honorable mention.
All right, my first... Sorry, I'm so sorry. I guess I'm not over that cold. My first honorable mention is After Yang, directed by Kogonada. I watched this like right at the beginning of the year, like literally January. It was April.
Oh yeah,
Right at the beginning of the year for me.
Yep. When the year begins in England.
It's Very good, specifically for me, because I am obsessed with sort of post-human stories. I love the idea of transcending beyond humanity. Don't read into that. I've talked about Colin Farrell's performance a little bit. A passing mention of him being in this film. Like, incredible performances all around. Very, very emotional story about grief, obviously, but also grief for something that you're not sure you should be grieving for. It was very, very compelling for me. So I'm glad I got to at least mention it.
I think that's very well worth a mention.
Yeah. I think I liked After Yang more than most of the people I've talked to about it.
Hey.
I know you liked it. I'm not saying you didn't like it, but I'm saying I liked it more than you.
Oh, that's very true. I thought that you said that you liked After Yang more than the person themselves that you would talk to. like you like After Yang more than me as a person.
No, I'm saying I liked After Yang more than you liked After Yang.
Okay, that's a fair assessment, actually. Fucker.
The rails firmly derailed.
Oh, man. Okay, well, I'm going to use my first honorable mention to double down on the African Desperate. I really want to recognize this film and sort of giving out more recognition to the director and everybody else involved in this film. I just love it. It just, if anything, again, it excited me, much like Halloween Ends excited you. I'm very excited to see where everybody in this film goes and what comes next. And yeah,
I'm pretty sure you're leading the charge for the African Desperate. I'm pretty sure that you're
apparently
you're sat in the front row, #1 fan.
Maybe like I'd go like number 23. I'm sure there are people more into it.
That's pretty good. 23 is still pretty
high.
Yeah,
I'm still banging the pots. I'm still making noise about it. Seriously, guys, get a free 7-day movie trial. We don't have a referral code yet. We'll work on that, but.
And if you don't have Mubi in your region of the world,
VPN.
Go fuck yourself.
Or that, I guess.
I'm with all of you people that don't have any of the streaming services. I don't have any of them. I have Netflix, and Netflix notoriously sucks.
Barely exists.
Honorable mentions. I mean, I'm kind of committing a sin because this was most people's favorite film of the year. But for me, it won no awards and only got an honorable mention purely because I watched this literally the last day of the year, and it's After Sun, directed by Charlotte Wells.
Oh, true. I feel like that if you saw this film a month ago, it would have swept every category.
Oh, it had the chance to. It just came around just a little too late, which is a shame, really. Maybe I'll just find a way to slip it onto next year's list. But,
well, yeah.
I mean, it's an incredible film all around. I certainly would have given Paul Mescal a Best Actor award if it had come around soon enough.
True. Yeah, just unfortunate timing on that one.
Very relatable. I understand where Charlotte's coming from as a British child who's gone on many a vacation like that. I understand.
Did you ever have the is it the yellow Fanta?
Yeah, we have yellow Fanta over here.
Oh, okay.
Looks like piss.
Gotcha.
It's very different to American Fanta. I thought you were going to ask if I ever had 3 beers and then walked into the ocean. The answer is also yes.
I feel like that's more so you leading that answer. You really kind of took you put words into my mouth on that one, actually. But sure, go ahead and let the world know. Okay, interesting. Hey, get it off your chest. It's okay. That's what the film is about, in a way. For my second honorable mention, I will be selecting Jordan Peele's Nope. I know that you
Good
talked
choice.
about it earlier. And again, I just didn't really find another category for it, but out of all of the big films this year, this is the one that actually, made me feel anything. So that's pretty big. And acting is all solid. Daniel Kaluuya, Keke Palmer, Steven Yeun's in here. And
got all your favorites.
All your favorites. And of course, Peele at the helm, fucking killing it. I didn't dislike Us, but after Get Out, I was kind of, a little soured, as most of us were, I think.
I liked Us, but fuck you.
All right. Well, I'm not saying I didn't. I'm not saying I dislike Us. Fucker. Yeah, Nope is a very good, as they say, junior film,
movie.
Not a sophomore film. He's a junior now. Next year he's going to be a senior, and he's going to get his high school diploma, and we're all going to be so proud of Jordan.
It's been very exciting to see the scale of Jordan Peele's films increase.
Very true.
They're just getting bigger and bigger.
Get Out, literally.
The next one could be fucking bigger than, like, Avatar for all we know.
For all we know, yeah. Get Out now literally looks like it's made with, like, about $500 in somebody's grandma's house over the course of a weekend. Compared to Nope.
Think about Get Out now, and we're like, oh, how quaint.
Oh, good job.
What a quaint little movie.
Oh, that's so cute. And then Nope is just fucking blasting down the walls. So that's my honorable mention.
Yeah, my last honorable mention is the one that I've been most excited to just mention.
To drop. Go for it.
Wai Ka-Fai's Detectives vs. Sleuths.
Oh, wow. Wow, I did not expect to see that tonight.
It's an incredible film. It's so much fun.
Detectives versus Sleuths. Wow.
We've spent a lot of time talking about police procedurals when it comes to Decision to Leave, but Detectives vs. Sleuths is one of the most sort of fun police films I've ever seen. It is not afraid to just be like batshit insane.
Very true.
And I respect that about it. And it's got a lot of Johnny Toe adjacent cast members, so there's still a lot of great action in it. And wherever you think that story's going, it's not going there. It's going somewhere else.
It's going to a very fun place is where we're going with that one.
I believe Detective vs. Sleuths is our most obscure film of the evening.
It's
even more obscure than The African Desperate.
1.3K, cements it. Yeah.
So if there's anything I want you to come away from this with today, watch Detective vs. Sleuth, turn it into a modern classic.
Yeah, it's fun. And rounding out for me, I'm going to be giving my honorable mention to Hit the Road. Pana Panahi, super small, like minuscule cast and crew on this political, sort of quietly political family drama that just, as it goes on, gets more sort of magical and, questioning reality, and obviously the tension builds. Pana Panahi, the son of Jafar Panahi, obviously the very prolific Iranian director who has No Bears coming out soon. They'll be on next year's list, I imagine. I'm you know what? I may call the shot to bring it back to baseball. I'm excited for that one. But Hit the Road, fantastic. Pana Panahi, just obviously a fresh face, and always I love Iranian cinema. Is it okay for me to say that?
And I don't see why not.
Can I say something so controversial? I love Iranian cinema. Those guys are doing great work over there. Keep it up.
All right, we're on to the big three. The big three of the evening.
Put up the big, like, dramatic music.
First up in our list of best features, we have best animated feature.
So true, bestie.
To avoid cancellation, we must first up say animation is a medium, not a genre. Okay, we're safe.
Thank you. Good job.
Safe, like in baseball.
Hey, love the Mets.
Hey, strike.
Oh yeah, let's get on.
Out of the park.
Brother, best animated feature for me. Giving it to Inuo. I know, again, you haven't seen it. I apologize. But
yeah, it's going to a lot of people's. I hear it's very good.
Very fucking good. Hell, it's even a little bit gay. So...
So's mine.
Oh, interesting.
We have a theme.
Must be Pompo.
You should know what mine is. Come on. It's me.
Oh, shit. Okay. I'm having a bit of a brain fart, but... Anyways, real quick, just to double tap on Inuo. It's Yuasa. I am a Yuasa stan, so this is a little difficult to kind of parlay because obviously I'm going to love everything he does. But it is animation as it should be. It is exciting. It's different. It's, it's recognizing the fact that it can exist beyond the realm of human, reality. And I appreciate that completely. And the fact that Yuasa is still doing it after a very long career. We're talking, he's probably been doing this close to 30 years plus, considering his earlier works and probably working in studios as well. He is obviously a master. So, up there with Khan and that weird fuck over at Ghibli, whatever his name is.
The one that survived.
The survivor.
Miyazaki. Goro Miyazaki.
Goro Miyazaki, yes, dude.
That's the one.
He's so good. But tell me, Joel, what did you think was the best animated feature?
It's time. It's time we tell the people.
God.
The best animated feature of the year is hands down Trick or Treat Scooby-Doo.
Oh, shit. How did I not... What the fuck is wrong with me? Of course you would say that.
As a lifelong Scooby-Doo fan, obviously, it's the easiest pick, you'd think. But Scooby-Doo is a roller coaster of a series. It is up and down in quality. Shocker, I know. But legitimately, Trick or Treat Scooby-Doo is one of the best Scooby-Doo films we've had in years. It's so, full of life and really just, enjoying being a Scooby-Doo movie. It's not sort of embarrassed. It's not trying to act cooler than it is. It really, really knows how to capture sort of the vibe of the Scooby-Doo gang that you all know and love. And it's a little bit gay.
Sure. Can't go wrong with that. I feel like this film happened and then everybody was like, OMG gay Velma, OMG new Scooby-Doo, haha, and then it just disappeared. But I mean, I'm hats off to this film. It was great. Fun experience. Great use of the Scooby-Doo
Those
IP.
of us that know, we've had gay Velma for a while now.
For about 50 years now, yeah.
Velma's always been gay. She might have had a couple of straight relationships, but I mean, so have I. All gay people have.
Yeah, you gotta experiment a little bit.
Gay Velma aside, it's very fun.
Yeah.
We all love gay people here, but
yeah.
That aside, the film itself is also a very good film.
Very, very true.
It's very, very, very enjoyable. Great story that really hasn't been done before. In Scooby-Doo.
In Scooby-Doo,
not in, like,
of course.
Films.
Yeah.
It's probably been done before in all films, but yeah, that's my open admission, and there will be a lot more Scooby-Doo talk in the future, I feel.
Very good. All right, I will introduce the next one. This is the best documentary. Obviously, as we know, every year this goes to my mockumentary, Pinkleton Point, Maine. But just for fairness, for everybody else, we will mention some other, actual
This is both
documentaries.
second place.
These are always second place.
Both of these lost to Pinkleton Point, Maine.
Yeah, pretty sad, but, they put up a good fight, I would have to say. Joel, what did you think was the best documentary?
The best documentary feature of the year was, of course, Jackass Forever.
Yeah, I don't know what else I also probably think that's the case, but I just knew. Like, there's just no question you were going to put it there, so I did choose something else.
Yeah, like my childhood was Jackass.
Sure.
And it's so sweet to see them grow up with me, despite them all being like years older
Very
than me.
old.
But it feels like Jackass has matured.
Yeah, it's a thinking man's Jackass.
This is for all of those MTV kids that came back after years of nothing. And we all got to see that it's all right. It's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
Because it's all still here at the end of the day. We've been through a couple of rough years, but everything is still here. We can still tie bricks to our cocks and throw them off buildings.
Yeah, if you want to.
We can play ping pong and paddleball on our cocks. You can put bees on our cocks. We can make dinosaurs out of our cocks. Right. It's all still here.
It's all there.
It's all gonna be fine.
Never left. Yeah, in a world where every single reboot and rehash and bringing back some old, 90s, aughts, even 2010s property is just, as soon as somebody says that, you just know it's going to be the biggest steaming pile of doo-doo ever. But the fact that Jackass, came out of the Jackass 3D, which was supposed to be the last one. And
I believe they were all supposed to be the last
I guess,
one.
yeah, they're all the swan songs in a weird way. But, I mean, for them to come back this far down the line, but still maintain the level of quality that they've had, and maybe even exceeded it, it's just, it's a absolutely gorgeous institution, Jackass is.
And I hope for many more years. Now that I know we can add new, younger Jackass members.
Yeah, when we figured that out.
Hopefully it will be here forever.
Yeah. I would love like Degrassi. Let's get the next generation Jackass in here. For me, maybe on the opposite level of maturity spectrum.
Okay.
But actually does involve cock, interestingly enough. All the Beauty and the Bloodshed. This one kind of came out of nowhere. I knew nothing about Nan Golden going into this, truth be told. But it really moved me. It moved me profoundly. I think that some of the best documentaries, some of the ones that I love the most, sort of paint a picture of humanity, about a singular person, but in the way that they affect other lives, how they connect to other people, to bigger things, and, to get not just the Nan Golden that is protesting the Sackler family here, but just to know her and to see that she's lived a life. Like, especially as I grow older, just even the simple things, just the mere act of existing kind of moves me more than it has before. And especially with somebody with a life like Nan Golden, you definitely should watch it because John Waters makes an appearance. You at least see his picture. Because I remember seeing a good comment that said, it is inevitable that whenever anything gay is being talked about, John Waters will make an appearance in some way or another.
Yeah,
and he did, for sure.
He's that kind of gay icon. He's always just ever present in the lives of most gay people.
Yeah, exactly. If something gay is going on between the year of 1960 to now, I mean, he's just... there's nothing... He's
even if you don't know he's there, like, he's there.
He's there. He's in the background. He's don't worry, he's there. Yeah. Good job.
It sounds like a very beautiful choice. I like that we have very, very different choices when it comes to maturity.
It kind of sort of exemplifies...
We cover a wide spread.
Yeah, it exemplifies our dynamic. I'm art house, you're shit house. You know, it's okay. We make a lovely pair.
Everyone loves our widespread.
Ooh, hey, that costs extra.
I believe we are onto the big one.
This is the final award of the night, ladies and freaks.
The best narrative feature. Everyone gets excited for this one, you know?
I mean, it's
the one film you should watch.
Technically speaking, if you are only able to watch one film, I guess this is the one to watch.
We take one film and we hold it up and we say, watch this one, it was pretty good. And I mean, we should just jump into it, I guess. No big drum roll. No, we don't have Warren or Faye. They weren't available.
Surprise.
So, I mean, they would have read the wrong one anyway. Ooh. So, I guess just go ahead.
Let's just go for it, huh? I'll announce mine. My pick for best narrative feature.
I'm buckled in. I'm so ready.
You are buckled in because you're about to watch Ryusuke Hamaguchi's Drive My Car.
Oh, how controversial.
Is it?
Yes, it's controversial. I mean, everyone agrees that it's good. Not everyone agrees that it's a 2022 film, but
here's the thing.
Go right ahead.
So, I will address this. A few other films that I've mentioned were also technically 2021 films. Here is the deal. I live in Boston, Massachusetts. We get films once New York City eats it, and then they throw us the scraps, okay? So this film, for me, came out in January of this year. Like, what do you want me to do? Okay, I'm not there day one when something's available all the time. And regardless, even if this film was like soundly in 2021, like it came out like February 2021, it is so good. This film is so good that I think that it deserves to be, to receive a 5-year award. Okay. I saw this film 4 times in short sequence when it came out. And this is a long-ass film. It's just about 3 hours long. It's Avatar length.
Yeah, it's longer than his other film that he released that year.
It is an emotional cannonball, this film. I mean, fuck. I got into Murakami after this. In fact, I read the short story collection that Drive My Car is in. I read before seeing this, and it got me into Murakami. But for Hamaguchi to adapt his work in such a even larger, profound way, I think that is what's especially compelling for me, because so many times adaptations can be pretty bland or just kind of straightforward,
Yeah.
This one changes it almost completely, but using the same groundwork that Murakami set up perfectly in the two short stories that this is based off of. The performances are just dead fucking on. I know I mentioned Hidetoshi Nishijima. He's just such a fucking actor, isn't he? He's just a
I mean, to be able to sell both the like cold, crisp tone of Drive My Car and the like bright, goofy Shin Ultraman, he's really got a lot of skill behind him.
Yes, he is an actor for all seasons.
And he was in Creepy.
Yeah, he was. Toko Miura, the female lead. I mean, just a hero for the neurodivergent out there. She's really representing us. She just loves driving, and me too, sis, me too. I love driving.
And Drive My Car really like the driving is such a part of it that feeling of just sitting in a car in silence, having to think about everything that's happening.
And that's that red sob. Ooh. I
wonder if sales went up for red sobs.
I feel like if I went on like a auto dealer website right now and like used car dealerships, they'd probably be going for like $80,000 right now. People are
red sobs are back, baby.
Those turbo sobs are back for real.
Finally.
I understand that they're actually kind of like pieces of shit, but I mean the design is great, and I mean this film, everybody, it's so good.
Yeah.
Fuck.
No, I don't even disagree. I agree wholeheartedly. I think it's a perfect movie. There is not a single issue with that film.
Yeah.
It's so like it's just such a like harrowing portrayal of just being fucking miserable.
It's destructive. Seriously, yeah.
And I'm there with it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And I kind of have on the opposite end of it is a very joyful and wondrous portrayal of being absolutely miserable.
Hey, yeah, exactly. Like there's something to be taken away from it too. I think is the big one for sure.
My best narrative feature is the Banshees of Inisherin.
Oh my god.
Misery loves company.
Could you imagine if Hidetoshi, his character was like, every time you speak to me in this fucking car, I will take these shears, cut one of my fingers off.
I could almost say the same things about both of these films, even though they are very different tonally and story-wise. But I don't know, it says a lot about us that our best narrative features are about sort of like the feel of our generation of misery and just complete like a want for a better place, but not being able to find it. And the Banshees of Inisherin really just takes all that and really boils it down to its small little island community. You don't have all these, like, bigger things going on. The war's over on a different land. The, like, war, the Civil War. It's ever-present, but it's not on that island. But they're just sort of, like, surrounded by this horrific sort of, like, horror... I'm saying horrible twice.
It's pretty horrible.
I'm aware. This very miserable situation. And for their community to have this smaller thing going on, these two friends sort of like falling apart, that affects them like more than the war because it's so like focused personally instead. And I think that's very touching, because I understand that a lot more. I've never been to war. I'm never signing up for the military. But I've lost friends, and that speaks to me a lot more than like a harrowing tale of combat in a faraway land.
That's fair.
And that's most of what I have to say. It's an incredible piece of work from Martin. I've supported Martin for many years. Not literally. I've never given him a single penny. But I'm on the sidelines cheering him on.
I have absolutely no issues with your choice here. I mean, it really is, by all accounts, a super professional film. Top to bottom. You know, Martin directing, you know, the production, editing, and the cast is an absolute knockout. I probably would have this, you know, higher up in some ways or mentioned more. Just I hate Irish people. No, I don't know. I feel almost like like I'm doing something wrong with not liking it as much as you. I feel like you're gonna hate me, but I do like it.
No, I mean, you'd like it, and you like Drive My Car, which is basically just the Banshees of Inisherin, but in Japan.
True.
But I mean, if we're gonna like drift into summation of everything we've talked about here tonight, I think overall it's been a very mixed year, but I think all the goods have been great and all the bads have been awful.
Yeah.
There haven't been many like middle of the road films. It's been a very very sort of harshly binary year.
Yeah.
Which is good for the good films, because we've
Honestly.
had a lot of films that I could consider classics, but we've had a lot of bad films that have just wasted my precious minutes
drains.
as well.
Yeah. Yeah, if I could maybe do a bit of an award monologue and just say, I think that we both talked about this definitely, but there's been a very gross kind of smoothing out of the film industry. You know, before every weekend you had a choice. I'm not going to say everything that's coming out is a knockout. You're getting low budget rom-coms. You're getting, you know, like stupid stoner comedies, you know, action flicks, whatever, but you're at least getting something, right? Nowadays, and I feel this because I work at a movie theater. I'm a manager at a movie theater, and we only have 2 screens. By all accounts, we should be like stuffed to the brim, like fighting, you know, to get stuff in here. But literally, we're like, what do we even show nowadays? You know, there's huge gaps now, you know, gulfs in between the Marvel films, right? Literally, the Marvel films are these big poles of the movie-going industry. Nobody wants to release their film when a Marvel movie comes out. Nobody does. You know, you know, what are you going to compete with? You're going to just get drowned out. And in between, people just don't go see movies anymore. So there's, you know, nobody's taking chances on the low budgets, the mid budgets even, because that's not what the studios are putting their money into. They're going big. And that has been very detrimental. And like, you know, it's what gets us these really high highs when something sneaks in and is good.
Yeah.
But really, otherwise, I mean, everybody's focusing on streaming. So that's why you get a lot of shit on streaming, because
The quality control of streaming is abysmal.
Because it doesn't matter. They just need the content. They need something so people continue subscribing.
It's just a buffet of slop, and they just need to keep it stocked. That's all they need.
Yeah. The outlook on film, and this is how I've felt for a while now, and then you can sort of give us your thoughts, is that film isn't dead. It cannot die. There are still always going to be amazing people making amazing art. All that is happening right now is that it is getting increasingly harder to access it. People are making fantastic films every day on their phones with, small crews, with small cameras, basic editing equipment. It's happening. It's out there. There are people who can make these small budget films that can get people in movie seats. It's just, we're at the whims of capitalism, and right now it really does not care about us, the movie goer, the movie enjoyer. But I say hold on to hope. You're still getting amazing things happening every year, and we'll get through it. We'll get through it.
That's why I think word of mouth is more important than ever.
Strangely enough, in this social media world, I agree.
I think if you find something that's good, you need to tell people about it, because chances are they're not gonna be able to find it.
Exactly. That's the case with, like, and especially why I want to highlight the African Desperate. It's especially the case with black filmmakers. Is there is a light that shines on films, and those films get attention, and black filmmakers just tend to not get into that. So yeah, it really is almost a obligation
and foreign cinema is really, like, I know RRR was huge, and a lot of that is word of mouth.
Yeah,
it's what's sort of keeping cinema alive, is telling people to watch this stuff,
because at the end of the day, it's box office numbers. I don't think it should be the case where we have to vote with our ticket stubs and keep foreign cinema in theaters in some way just because we'll show up. But I mean, it's the case, and support it.
Happy New Year.
Hey, it's another great year of cinema here, 2022.
We talked about some really good films, talked about 3 bad films,
terrible films.
And I think for some reason one of us brought up Shark Side of the Moon, so that's a freebie for Shark Side of the Moon, I guess.
I would like to thank
John Waters.
Thank you for existing. Happy January. I don't know, the band was supposed to be here like 30 minutes ago. We had like a whole orchestration set up. I'm being told now that the city is demanding us evacuate the premises immediately or face criminal charges. Okay. Well,
also the band did text me. Apparently they've been booked to play video game music in Indonesia.
Yeah, I mean, they'll at least get paid doing that. Well, I'll give you a nice firm handshake here, Joel. It was a real pleasure.
My hand.
And hey, here's to you, kid.
Go watch Trick or Treat Scooby-Doo.